Well, all right, we're back. In today's episode number 23, we're going to be continuing from where we left off on episode 22. In the last episode, I showed you how to use adapters to get the DualShock 3 PlayStation 3 controller working on your Gamecube with Sixaxis motion controls to play Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. And that's found in Star Wars Rebel Strike Rogue Squadron 3 for the Gamecube, which I've got up on the screen here. Now today we're going to be doing this with the PlayStation 4 DualShock 4 controller, and we're going to mount it in an accessory that will give you the flight yoke experience that's similar to what Atari's Star Wars the arcade game provided way back in 1982. This accessory that we're going to be putting into use is called the Appfinity App Drive Wheel, which was designed for use with smartphones a few years ago. These aren't very expensive these days, but are a very good quality product for the project we're going to be doing today. Now, if your goal is not to use a flight yoke, but just the DualShock 4 controller on your Gamecube, I'm going to go over the basic steps to do that. First off, you're going to connect a PlayStation to Gamecube controller adapter, and the one I have here is called the Game Elements Gamecube to PlayStation controller adapter. It's also got an Xbox connector. You're not going to use that, obviously. Just use the Gamecube connector and plug it in. Step 2 is to plug that into a Brook Super Converter, which is basically a PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 controller to PlayStation 2 controller adapter. So you're going to take that and plug it in to your Game Elements or whatever Gamecube to PlayStation controller adapter you've got. And that's going to light up. The Brook adapter, once it's lit up, then you can plug in your PlayStation 4 DualShock 4 controller by its USB cable. And then after it recognizes your controller, you can actually disconnect that USB cable, and right away it's going to be a wireless connection. So it's really actually a pretty neat adapter. This Brook Super Converter has that wireless capability, which I really like. Now, I do want to address the question of, is there lag? Beautiful Joe is up on the screen here. I've got on the left side the game being played with just a Gamecube controller on my Gamecube, whereas on the right side, you're going to see the PlayStation 4 through these adapters. It's now connected with wirelessly. So I'm going to just leave it up to you, the viewer, to decide, am I seeing a little bit of lag? Now, this episode is primarily about going beyond that basic method, and my aim is to show you how to put your DualShock 4 controller's Sixaxis motion capability into action so you can attach a flight yoke, the app drive, for the purpose of playing Gamecube flight games, particularly Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, which is a bonus game in the Star Wars Rebel Strike Rogue Squadron 3 Gamecube game. Now, other games that I plan on showing you today include Kirby Air Ride, F-Zero GX, Chaos Field, as well as Top Gun. So to get started, you're going to use those two adapters I mentioned and connect them to your Gamecube. And the next step is a little different. You're not going to just straight up plug in your PlayStation 4 to that Brook adapter. You're going to get a Cronus Max Plus controller adapter along with a Bluetooth wireless receiver. So this Cronus Max Plus I've got right here, and I've got the little Asus receiver plugged in there. This is a USB-BT400 USB adapter, Bluetooth 4.0, made by Asus. So you've got that connected to your Cronus Max. And now before plugging these into the Brook adapter USB port, you have to do some configuring. So it's going to require a PC and some software and a couple of downloaded and combined GPC scripts to use in your Cronus Max Plus. So I'm going to go through a few steps. I'll label them A through F or G or however far we get. Okay, so step A, get the Cronus Pro version 1.20 software installed on your PC. And B, plug your Cronus Max Plus into your PC via its mini USB program port with a mini USB to standard USB cord. And once you've done that, you're on to C, which is connect to your DualShock 4 controller via its USB cord to the Cronus Max Plus main USB port. So it's recognized, and at that point, the software will automatically indicate that the input is set to PlayStation 4 controller. If you go into the software, you're going to see that. And step D is to set the output to be PlayStation 4, which you'll see in the software there. And on to step E we go. You're supposed to go to the controller guide part of the online manual of Cronus Max Plus for connecting a PlayStation 4 controller to a PlayStation 4. And you follow those steps in the online manual to connect your DualShock 4 wirelessly to the Bluetooth receiver. Now, before I go on to the next step, which is the Sixaxis related part of this step, I would like to address the subject, once again, of lag. In flight games where you have targets to shoot at, a hint of lag is actually true to life. Planes and spacecraft don't react immediately to your input, but admittedly, it's not adding to the fun of the game, so minimizing it is desirable. In the last episode of Wired Up Retro, I was using these adapters with the PlayStation 3 DualShock 3 controller in Sixaxis mode wirelessly. You might have been able to tell that there was a significant amount of lag when I was playing Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, this game. And after putting that video up, I tried the game out with a wired connection instead of the wireless connection, and this cut the lag down actually quite a bit, I would say close to 50%. Now with this in mind, we'll be keeping a close eye on what happens with today's project using the DualShock 4 controller wirelessly with these adapters. All right, so let's see, we were on E, now we're on F. Okay. GPC scripts are found in the online library of the Cronus Pro software. Now, I tried the script that has the name Sixaxis Remapper Reverse, and this is the one I had used in our last episode. Now, this technically is a DualShock 3, not a DualShock 4 compatible script, but it does work, interestingly, on the DualShock 4. Unfortunately, though, the vertical or the Y-axis of the control motion is flip-flopped, and that means up is down and down is up. And I'm figuring this is boiling down to some design difference between the DualShock 3 and the DualShock 4 controller and how it's interacting within the Cronus Max Plus. So, what are you going to do about this? Well, what I decided, I thought of maybe just go into the Gamecube options menu for controls and flip-flop up and down and up. But unfortunately, in this game, they didn't allow you to have that option. So there's another way to do this, and that would be having to do with those GPC scripts. You know, the one that is the main one, Sixaxis Remapper Reverse, can be combined with a up is down and down is up vertical motion script. So I had somebody who knows what they're doing over at the Cronus Max forums provide me a combined script. So if you look down in the description, you're going to see that script. All you got to do is copy that and then paste it into the proper spot of the Cronus Pro version 1.20 software. So once you've got that pasted in there, then you'll be able to get into business here with the proper up and down motions with your Sixaxis. Now, if you like down being up and up being down, well, then you would only have to use the Sixaxis remapper reverse script, not the combined script. So keep that in mind. All right, so now I'd like to just touch a little bit on the software and getting that programmed properly. All right, so we're back to the Cronus Pro version 1.20 online library, and we're going to actually go over to not visual scripting but GPC compiler. So click on that, and you'll see here we have a script that's all typed out. And it says posted by Excalibur, a member of the community in the Cronus Max forums. And he has provided to us this dual or two combined GPC scripts so that we can use this PlayStation 4 controller properly on the Gamecube. All right, so once you've seen that, you've pasted it in there, you're going to click on Save. The save file, I think, icon is here. And it'll give you the opportunity to name the file. I named mine PS4 Sixaxis-reverse.gpc. And once that has been saved, then you go over to the programmer. And once you've got programmer up, you'll see in the compiler scripts, there's your file. So what I did, I had a blank spot of number 1, and I dragged it and dropped it over there. Another way to do it, if you don't see it here for some reason, it didn't quite work out the way you were hoping, if you go to GPC files, in my laptop here, I've got it under Documents, and I just, tooled around in here and found it in Documents. So then I drag and drop it here if I want. Okay, so then you go over to the program. By the way, these are slots for save slots of the compiler scripts, or you could say GPC scripts. So when I press this button, I'm now showing that I'm in slot 1, there's 2, and 3, 4, and 5 right there. And then back to 0, that'd be not using a script at all. And 1 gets you back to the script that you want to be using for this project. All right, so then you would go to this program device, and when you click that, it will give you a little instructional thing on doing the programming. It's very simple and straightforward. I'll let you handle it. All right, so let's go ahead and play some games. We're going to be playing the Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back classic game, and then I'm also going to show you a few others just with the wheel. But actually, before we play the games, I do have to show you how to put the controller into the Appfinity app drive. So let's show that. It's actually very easy to do. Now, unlike the PlayStation 3 controller, which went in through the front with it facing forward in an upright position, the DualShock 4, you're going to do this a different way. You're going to basically flip it around and have the front coming out this side and also upside down. Okay? And so I'm going to show you how to get it through there. You can't get it through like that. That's not going to work. So you have to take it through like this. Okay, and you want to get those, you want to have clearance to get those thumb pads to get through. So you're going to have to pull it up a little bit and get that through. Now once it's through, it's not going anywhere. But now you've got it this side like that, okay? So what you're going to need are basically these elastic bands. I use my wife's hair bands. They're about 3 inches long, or one of them's 3 1/4, I believe. This is close to 3 1/4 when you stretch it out and bend it. And then you're going to also need a Velcro strap. This one's 6 1/4 inches long. Velcro strap will be used at the very end of our mod. All right, so let's go ahead and put our first strap on. You're going to want to get that under this side right here. Just stretch it around until you get on the underside of the controller. Okay, And then you're going to take the second one, and that is going to go here. And again, the underside of the controller, and then pull it back behind here. Okay. There. Okay, so that would be the first step, okay? And then we're on to the second step. All right, let's get these last two bands on. Put that right there. Go over the controller like that, and get the second one and over the controller like that. And that's not the way we're going to leave it, because that kind of blocks your ability to get to the thumbsticks. We're going to get the Velcro strap involved. Okay, so now we cleared the face of bands and we can get to the thumbsticks easily. And it is held in there very tightly. We've got the elastic strap right there in the middle, and this thing is going nowhere. It's like really lodged in there, but it is slightly adjustable this way, or you could adjust it the other way, but I kind of like it this way. All right, it's in there, ready to roll.
May the force be with you. There's a meteorite hit the ground near here. Droid of some kind. The force is with you. That is the system. I'm sure Skywalker is with me. We have spotted Imperial walkers. The force is with you. Shield doors must be closed. Prepare to make the jump to light speed. I want that ship knocking asteroid not done yet, bro. One more time, it's my downfall. Oh, thank goodness we're coming out of the asteroid field. The son of Skywalker must not become a Jedi destroyer. He will join us or die. picked up something outside the base.
Well, all right, today I think we've got some good success with the DualShock 4 on our GameCube games. I would say we were not getting a whole lot of lag at all. I would say most of the time I was playing, I wasn't noticing any lag. If you watched our last episode, you might have picked up on a little lag with the DualShock 3, although with that controller you can plug that in with a USB cord to your Cronus Max Plus and get pretty good results. But I think with the DualShock 4 you don't have to worry about plugging that one in. It seemed to work pretty well wirelessly with that Bluetooth receiver. All right, and another thing, if you plug in a DualShock 4 via the Cronus Max Plus and a GPC script of Sixaxis Remap or Reverse, you can actually play VR games. And in an upcoming episode, I want to definitely touch on that and display a little bit of the Appfinity app drive in action on the PS4 virtual reality system. So I will look forward to showing that and providing you with more information about it. All right, in another episode, I'm going to be covering some more Atari 5200 information. I have a new little secret, which I'm sure you guys would be happy to know about if you're into classic gaming. So stay tuned and definitely smash that like button, and I would like to definitely hear comments from you. Anybody who wants to give me their insights about setting up any kind of controller on any kind of system that's in a unique way, I'm all ears. All right, it's nice seeing you all out there, and it's been a pleasure to share this with you today. All right, we'll see you very soon. Take care.